We have brother McKinday out at Apple back on the corner.
What up? It's been a long
What were you punching?
time.
No, just you gotta
all right.
get my diagram together.
That's not where it is, but anyway.
Yeah.
No, you have to open up. Pause.
I don't know why you're using female condoms. That's a conversation for another time.
Oh, that's what we doing already out the gate. Welcome back, sir. Okay,
You ready?
you know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
been like, how long?
It's been very long.
Oh
My last
shit!
show was Kelly Howard. I'm fairly sure that was my last show.
I don't know how
called
to.
in a couple.
The comedian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That was the last time I was physically on a microphone.
All right, well, we welcome you back with open arms, man. This is a revolving door, you know what I mean? Let's start here. Has everyone had a good week before we get into the shits? Kels, anything amazing happened with your week?
Man, it's been
You've been fronting shit like, oh yeah, I'm doing more dope shit than you.
I was telling the truth. All right. It's been an amazing week. First of all, what is today? We are not recording on a Saturday. This is an off day.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting ready for Juneteenth. And I think last week, most exciting thing, released my very first special edition of Chicago News Weekly. It's all lakefront stories, boat parties, Blacknificent yacht cruise. Shout out to all of the writers that supported. Chicago News Weekly has a new home. So we're at Lacuna Loft on the 4th floor. We definitely will be having a launch party. And that'll be a good time. We got a podcast studio up there.
Yeah,
so
might be the new corner.
doing they are welcoming. And we already got some of our editions or shows on the on the website. So check us out, Chicago News Weekly. Other than that, hung out with Landon. So that was a good time. His birthday is Wednesday.
Okay.
He turning 19.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yep, turning 19. And hung out at the beach. Kicked it with friends. Oh, got to see Questlove at Talia Hall. So checked out his book. It was packed in there. Talia, y'all popcorn too salty. Way salty.
They got good Long Island's.
A couple weeks old. I mean, I'm not saying that from experience or nothing. Having worked at the company, but I'm just saying, it's probably.
I will say the one thing from Questlove had me thinking, like, Buddy said that he consumes like at least 500 new songs a week, and that you can get caught up in like listening to the same thing over and over again. And what does it take to bring in new music? And so Landon and I now have like this competition. Like we gotta like put each other on and step outside of our musical lane and welcome new music. Like stop looking in the past and reliving and live in the present moment and get to know. So
Have you ever heard
excited.
Quest DJ, like a whole DJ set?
No, I have not. I heard that he talks over it and like drops does like
No, he
anthologies
never
of
talks. He
history.
doesn't say words at all.
Oh, really?
When he's talking about his DJing, he gives you the full scientific breakdown. No, he doesn't use the mic at all. What he does is to your point, he takes, you only hear 8, never more than 16 bars, rarely 16. You hear 4 to 8 bars of different genres mashed together for the whole set.
Oh,
He'll
wow.
do that for 2.5, 3 hours. So he'll go from a John Bon Jovi over a trap, whatever beat, and then come out of that into a Michael Jackson over some hard rock. Like he's constantly taking your waves. And,
He called him.
and
He's like, I'm a nerd.
Oh, he's extraordinary.
He a nerd
Me and
about
Q
it.
argue about this shit all the time. Q
Yeah.
hates it because Q is like, nobody want to hear all that DJ nerd shit. We want to
Questlove
party.
said that too.
Right.
He was like,
it's
people
DJ nerd.
people
shit.
won't give it to him.
No, it's DJ nerd. But he's really, in my personal opinion, excellent at keeping that vibe though. It's not turn up. I'm not gonna front. You're not gonna be in there like, oh my God, it's a party. But
Good
he's
music.
gonna keep the vibe and you're gonna stay in tuned. And in my personal perspective, like he forces you to actually think about what he's doing as a DJ. When you playing party records and you ain't nobody giving a damn what you doing up there, man. I can do that myself.
Yeah.
It forces you to kind of really focus on like, wow, look at how much work this guy is doing and how much work he must have done to know those two were gonna work. Yeah, Quest is my favorite.
Another level. And then also went to a burlesque show. Shout out Sugar Brown.
Nice.
So that was amazing. And like Black folks, we don't really have too many burlesque shows. Like I feel like anything sex and romance and intimacy is either like really, really like taboo or it doesn't exist.
or it highlights prostitution.
Oh yeah.
Like, it can't be art. No, seriously, when we talk about sex workers and that in the black space,
Oh yeah.
it's not artful in the same way. Like Josephine Baker may be the last person that people give like artful credits for that. Maybe Eartha Kitt, but like
that might have been the first time we saw her titties too. Who played?
What do you mean? First time we saw her? You seen Josephine Baker?
No, who played
He took
Josephine
that
Baker?
time machine from last week.
No, who played Josephine Baker? Angela Bassett.
Oh, you're
correct?
talking about in the movie?
Yeah. In the movie, no. Shout out to Angela Bassett, man. Great tits. Great tits.
Like, where did you see?
Yeah.
Y'all ever been to a burlesque show?
So I was gonna say there are. So Sweet Spot Nation is a black burlesque show that travels the country. One of the hardest working burlesque reviews I've ever seen, because they're 48 to 50 states 46 to 49 states every year.
Oh wow.
Really, really impressive group. Shout out to Ainsley and his wife, whose name I'm forgetting because I'm on the spot right now. Oh my God. Anyway, they're a husband, wife. They're amazing. They play Promontory every year. There's another group in I think they started in Minnesota.
knowing all the burlesque, black burlesque.
Yeah.
Free Jason.
You know, I frequent the arts.
I can imagine you
No, but there's a
being
group,
a donor.
There's a group out of Minnesota that's now in Vegas. It's Melanated Menage or something to that
That's
effect.
a pretty name.
I think there are some, but I think to your point, they're not. We don't get introduced to them in the same way that they promote. Like there's a burlesque show that happens up in not River North, but Wicker Park. It's been happening probably for 25, 30 years. And it's really whack. Like just to be straight with you. Like it's just not
on the other side of Divine. It was on Milwaukee. It was on Milwaukee.
I have white friends now.
Yeah,
I've been gone.
It was on
I've
Milwaukee.
had white friends.
Yeah, it's on
I'm not gonna.
you know what? Guess what? You know what? I don't give a fuck. I want to move on.
I was in a conference today that said, "Don't throw shade, throw glitter," and I was like, you know. I'm gonna lean in to this new way.
I love that. Throw shade, throw glitter.
This podcast is for Chicago by Chicago, man. We like to highlight our
And
You asked me
tastemakers.
about my week, ass.
Oh, I'm sorry. How was your week,
huge
sir?
glass of wine.
Man. Yes. Shout out to James Harden.
Oh, it's James Harden shit.
Again. That's
And no, not shout out to you. Cut the check.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. This is always a really
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not how was your week? Not how was your week? How was your last 6 months?
I ain't doing
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we convince?
That's not glitter.
First of all, you're trying to re-traumatize me.
I'm not.
I'm not
I
about
just
that
want to know.
life.
I just want
Not
to know.
glitter.
I just want to know.
Long story short, school happened. Some kids passed. Some kids didn't pass.
Cool.
Now, what makes this week kind of like interesting is because this is that last week is the week of it's over, but I still got to be here. And so, you know, you do your final bits of whatever with parents and students and staff. But this is the first week of like freedom, and I ain't free. I got all kind of work to do. In every other space that I operate in, it like immediately happens when the last day of school happens. It's like, okay, now you got to go back to being McKinday. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Adadapo can take a break, but McKinday has to activate like right now.
Well,
That's why I'm
happy
not
you're back.
jealous of high school teachers, because college, once finals is in,
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, I found out Kels really has several jobs.
I saw that. I thought that was relatively interesting.
I did too.
Yeah, I thought that was relatively
So one of the clips
shout out to my students.
on TikTok, it's one of the viral ones. You know what I mean? There's several. You just have to go look.
Oh my God.
She's like, oh shit, that's my teacher. So I was like, okay, so
I saw
she
you
really
jump on
does.
that one.
You know what I'm
Pause.
saying? Like, all right, shout out to you. You know what I mean?
I was skeptical. I'm not gonna front.
How? Like you can like Google my name and go to the.
But Google don't tell me nothing. Google
what do you
tells
mean?
me. Google tells me that you were listed.
Oh my
related
goodness.
to a class. It don't tell me nobody was there. It don't tell nobody sharing any testimony and experience.
And you outside. When did you grade papers?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how are you growing weed in Oregon while at the same time negotiating mental health at the University of Loyola, and at the same time managing the boat docks on the south side? These things don't matter.
So that's seasonal. Okay, let's get that
Right.
right.
I do understand seasonal.
that is seasonal.
I'm familiar with seasonal.
No, but I realize I'm really good at compartmentalizing. And
That's fair.
Yeah, like, and when you teach a college course, it's kind of set up where these are the presentations. It's a 50-minute class 3 times a week.
True.
This is when we test. These are the assignments. Like, these are adults. Like, it's a no-brainer.
That's true.
And
you don't have to manage as much emotional.
Yeah, and when it's your knowledge, it's not hard to talk for 50 minutes. It's hard to get your students to engage at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, nobody want to hear that shit.
I mean, unless you make it about film. Right. And so I think that was the interesting part is like when you
which
work
class
with,
was this for? Maybe because I do want to be clear which class.
Please
have a little more research.
Yes,
to be clear.
This was an intro biology for non-majors. And so that right there.
I would have taken that class.
This is high school biology that you're teaching?
No, this is
It's intro. Prereq?
All undergraduate students have to take it.
Yeah, it's a prereq.
Yeah, for all majors, but it's non-majors, right? So everybody needs to understand science, but you have to make it interesting and educational. But a lot of college students are disconnected from the city that they live in and the issues of the current day. They literally don't. They're kind of like zoned in and focused just on classwork. And so to have a course where I get to bring in like news, you got to be careful about politics, but film and television worked really well because I was able to pair science with science fiction. Like we did.
All right. Okay.
He's like, I don't want to take the class.
Oh yeah, you know what? Whatever. You asked. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Y'all set me up.
I see what's about to happen today, and I refuse to allow this to happen. Like the two intellectuals on the show.
Why are you using air quotes?
We're not going to do this today. Now let's get into it. Right. This podcast is for Chicago by Chicago. We like to highlight our tastemakers, our influencers, and our movers and shakers. Right? Humpback. Cool. Humpback. Fuck out of here. Look, Chicago canceled the 4th of July fireworks display.
This has not been happening for years, though.
Last year didn't
this
happen.
is not the first year. Yeah,
I did not.
This is not the first year that the fireworks on 4th of July didn't happen. This is like the third.
The fireworks again getting fired, if you will, in every you see that in every fucking Chicago alley and backyard, right? So are they saying we just can't go down to Michigan Avenue or Navy Pier? What are we saying here?
They're saying that the official city fireworks show has not happened,
which is on Michigan, right?
No, it's at Navy Pier.
How
Navy
can
Pier?
you shoot off?
It's Navy
Do you
Pier?
understand how fireworks?
No. The fucking the water shit. Where the water fountain is, right?
Typically, you need to be far away from.
All I'm saying is I don't fuck with fireworks, so I love this. Okay. Right? This shit is stupid.
You're scared?
No, I just don't fuck with it. It's stupid. Who wants to see?
I'm not a big fireworks.
Who wants to see a bunch of colors in the sky? I don't give a fuck.
Lots of
After
people.
you've seen it a couple times, it doesn't change that.
Nah, man. There's nothing important about.
But you know what they're
Lighting the
replacing
wick.
these things with? Have you seen this?
What?
The drone shows. Have you seen these?
Oh, the drone shows are pretty. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I'll watch a drone.
They are
show.
magical.
They are off. You've never seen this?
The fuck out of here.
The Sox do it. The Sox do it. They do it at their stadium.
So what they've done in Vegas was one of the first places to do it. You take a person who has programmed 1,000 different drones. They are equally spaced apart on the ground. And he's designed it so that they do things. They make shapes. Like one of them was Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk in the sky. Like this is fascinating.
Maybe that's what Terrence Howard engineered.
All right.
He's like,
he's been on one lately.
My drone show is about to be dope, man.
But no, so like it's different. What I appreciate,
my drone show is gonna be dope, man.
What I appreciate, man, yes,
my fellow scientists, I'm with it. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that there is endless possibilities of what you could do with this. Imagine, you know what it really mimics, and we forget about this. But when you go to the halftime of a HBCU, or even a really big college,
the marching band,
all of the marching band formations that they are able to create on the field, it's the exact same experience except in the sky with
drones.
And I'm quite sure you can monetize that too if like you wanted to like throw in like, do you want to buy an ad
Corner
right
Convo?
Now?
They could make the Corner Convo logo in the sky.
Somebody's gonna be like, "Will you marry me, Jenny?" It's like 3,000 Jennies in the audience.
Or somebody misspelled my name, McKimbe.
Not thinking that's not you, sir.
I'm shooting these drones out the sky to make my name spell right.
What do y'all think about this shit, right? So in Missouri, there's a restaurant where they have age restrictions on
I love this idea.
when you can come in, when you can't, right? So
that's only after 7 o'clock.
and on certain days, right? But it's 30 and over for women and 35 and over.
That part is weird.
That was funny.
That part's weird to me.
Why?
Well, it's weird to me because you're basically saying if I'm in the sugar daddy age range, I can show up there with a 30-year-old woman and it's totally fine. It has nothing to do with anything else, right? But you're also saying that a 30-year-old man is in some ways incapable of being mature enough to act his age at 30. It's really awkward to me that they set the precedent
for gender.
That was awkward to me. I didn't get that part. I am decidedly for the idea, though, of maintaining a certain environment. At the end of the day, though, I'm spoiled. Let me say this too. I was looking at it from the perspective of a Chicago restaurant goer. There's so many restaurants in Chicago on any given day. If that's the day that you can't come in as the 18-year-old, you're fine. You got other options. I don't know about this place in Missouri. It's probably only a couple of options. So in that case, it's kind of messed up, right?
Well, no, not really, because the people who probably spend the most money,
from a business standpoint,
are outcompeted with younger audiences that, so in that regard, you're kind of separating time out for people who will probably spend more on a bill.
Well, I love this. That. I love this because I was out one day having brunch, if you will, and it's 10 o'clock a.m. and a slew of 21 to 25-year-olds.
Spell slew.
Come in, fresh out the club. They ain't been asleep. And the spot is BYOB, right? So now they're back and forth to the car, still sipping and drinking. And
good times.
As a 21, 25-year-old for sure. But not as a grown-ass man while I'm sitting there.
With kids, too. I mean,
right.
I guess
I don't like it.
That's another reason why I didn't like this age thing. Because it's like, it almost suggests that as a 30-year-old man, I don't have values that I also want to protect, right? Like I have to be 35 to have a value that I would like protected. I mean, was this something I would like vote for across the board? Not exactly.
We have those restaurants here though. Well, they're lounges.
They're lounges.
Right? So you got
more bar vibes.
They're 35 and up. I can remember going in. I was 31. He was like, "Nah, sis." I'm like, "It's my mama's birthday." He was like, "Nope."
The first time that happened, it was in Milwaukee.
But it makes sense though, right?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
You're
keeping the riff-raff out, just like when.
Is 32 really riff-raff?
It can be.
Let me be clear too.
But
I think this protects young people.
I think
there's protection for young people.
What I was going to say is when the house music fest, right? When they raised the price, it went from free to 20 to 25. Chosen few, right? It went from free to 25 or 20, whatever it was, then 50, right? Yeah. So you push out the ones who really don't want to spend money.
But it also changed locations when that happened. It went from downtown to the south side of Chicago. And the concern was that Stony Island is already an activated thoroughway for traffic, period. This is before the Obama Library thing is happening. So you're talking about people saying, I'm worried that whatever goes on a regular Saturday night over here might accidentally fold into this place. And we ran into that with 7-Room Block Party last year.
Man, is it going to stop me from going to a spot that other people can't?
Kids are at.
I do realize I was one of those people that had little kids and we would go out to dinner and we would go to really nice restaurants. And so it'll be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Right? Like, it's not a school night, or even if it was.
Time out. I'm sorry. What is the point of this exercise? Why did you just pour the drink from one glass into a cup?
Promo.
Well, yeah, this is called marketing, dumbass.
Okay.
Fucking moron.
First of all, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't even want to go ahead. I just don't even.
When are we getting our left-armed?
Well, if you had broke them all.
What's the purpose of that? Why is that even there?
Usually it's a cup of ice.
Well, first of all, it's not even seen because I'm a great editor. Let me be clear.
No, you're not.
Oh, so okay.
With that, you're getting better.
I'm sorry.
Anywho, okay. Get this fucking James Harden shit off my fucking shot. Fuck. All right.
I'm still gonna go, but it is nice to know that there are spaces for older people. And I mean, for all those people that went in on that last clip about like dating a 21-year-old woman, this restaurant protects you from that. But I am wondering, how old do you have to be to work that night?
Oh, interesting.
So you have to be 21 to serve alcohol. Yeah. So employees can be there that are 21 and up, but your patrons can't be. Can you still order takeout?
Yeah.
That's interesting. If I would like, okay, let's make sure that people can still get our food. We're not going to say that you can't buy our food, but dining in. And I could see like if they had like a rooftop, like separating it, and you're keeping like the patio area for certain ages. So, I mean,
but I think this rule speaks to who we are or who we are portrayed to be, right? As a culture, right? I don't think
this happens in white communities.
No.
You don't think this is a rule that they're going to do? Like, my 18-year-old white kids can't come to the same restaurant as my 30-year-old.
No.
Interesting.
No. I feel like if I'm an owner and I'm new to the space of being an owner of a restaurant, and I've been fed so much negativity from the younger generation, I'm going to come up with something. I own it. I can do what I want to with my space, how I want it. I can take the money from the people that I want to take the money from, and I can deny you.
Yeah, it's called the free market.
Right.
You use your information. So if the data tells you that businesses that tend to stay open later suffer from this many vandalisms within this, zip code, then you move accordingly. So I think as a business move, whatever information that they receive to make that decision, and they're sticking to it, and they have supporters, So if I'm 43 now, I'm 75 and I want to go out for dinner. Yeah, I want to be someplace where I don't have to worry about, it being a certain type of crowd. And I rock with intergenerational, but I think you're right, and that's unfortunate.
I am.
What cities can't you see this working?
And that's
in?
what I was gonna say. Like, I think this is very geographic, right? I feel like if you are
we're in Chicago, motherfuckers gonna turn up in that motherfucker. Like, we can't get here.
But this already happened though. The brother from Dallas. When he first opened his restaurant,
Atlanta was in there twerking and shit, right?
But it was originally from Dallas, and he opened one here, Kitchen and Cocktails. Is that?
Okay, yeah. There's no age restriction.
There was that whole It wasn't age restrictions, but there was a very specific thing about what you can do here. They were celebrating a birthday. They brought in like balloons for somebody's 21st birthday, and he was like, "Well, you can't have your balloons in the environment." Up the ambiance. I'm just saying, like, Chicago is a highly populated city. And so my point is why I think it would be supported in Chicago is that you have other options. I think places where I would see it becoming really problematic, let's just say you got one cheesecake factory in Birmingham or whatever, and you enact this rule, well, you really are telling Black young people, you can't go have a nice dinner because we say you're not old enough.
Who else has age limit? Is it 18 and up? Midnight skating?
I have no idea.
I haven't been skating in years.
Yeah. So at the rink, you can.
Yeah, it's 87, right?
It's a certain age to get in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Midnight Ramble, I think that's what they call it.
The realities of different generational values and how we express fun and have fun. And
that was so PC.
Spend time.
How we express fun.
I'm working on my campaign. It is though. It's a really different space than I think people. And you also got to be real too, right? Like, you're an older person. Let's say you're a 35-year-old man, and you're there with your 30-year-old young lady, and some 18-year-old young dude is all up in her space, and you decide to deal with that as a grown man, but he's 18. Now you are the enemy of the state when this is publicized that you beat the brakes off of this little boy because he was out of pocket and he was disrespectful.
That was a hard P.
To the
Did this happen to you this week? You sound real personal.
No, because they haven't lived enough, right, to understand that grown
and
space.
There's a different value structure. Yeah. They're not there. I'm not saying all. We're being
so y'all don't
want
to kick it with nobody. Question. Do you all have friends that are 10 years younger than you?
No.
Friends?
Yes.
Yeah, friends. And you're really okay. All right.
I consider them a friend. Yeah, that's my man's now.
I have people that I've worked with in various different industries that we are close. We are associates in that way, but like we don't. It's not hey man, how the kids doing? Not yet, right? They're still
First of all, we got to get you a lady.
Stages.
Okay. that young man has grandchildren.
Right.
He wondering what's wrong with you.
That's hilarious.
Baba Kende.
Gotta get back into poly. What is it? Polyende. Get back into that. No, but I'm just saying, like, there are our reference for our relationship is still more mentor to younger colleague or younger male than it is like we kicking back chilling together.
So what's the oldest friend you all have?
My pops.
Yeah, well, anybody in my pop's generation, because
my pops, my uncle,
people in his generation, friends of his are friends of mine because I have the same amount of contact with them now.
Yeah. In my actual Rolodex, like let me
like
call.
I kick it with.
Yeah,
probably like 60. My boy Speed is like 60.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think shit. I hope
so are y'all the young people that other people got to vouch for in networks?
Not me.
Nah.
Nobody vouches for me anywhere. My name speaks.
No, I vouch for you.
Oh my God.
I vouch for you.
Where?
A lot of
Where
time.
am I? Name a space. And I will leave the podcast.
Do I have to do this?
Moment.
Do I have to do this?
You can't do this. There's no place.
How many times have I gotten you in the club?
Oh
when you thought I couldn't, and it blew your mind, like, oh shit, he just did that. Yeah, I vouch for you, bro. Yeah, it's fine.
I vouch for you.
Yeah, I vouch for you. Hey, he's good.
He's with me.
This shit happened once.
I mean, I'm batting 1,000. What you mean?
Some odd
I'm
years.
100%.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Hey, look. All right, real question, right?
Yeah, so funny.
Kels, and I want to start with you on this, right? When a woman marks her territory,
I saw this. This is interesting.
What does she normally leave at the guy's crib?
Okay. It depends on why she's marking it, in my opinion. Right? So sometimes you want to, so I've heard, is what I've heard.
Right. From a friend.
Yeah. Sometimes it's an accident. Right. And in our practice, it's like if you leave something, that means you want to come back.
Because you're used to leaving places without your girls.
I didn't mean to co-sign on that.
I mean, because that's 50% of the marking is
no,
the
but
draws.
if that's
like,
if this is a person that you're intimate
Got
with,
the draws. Didn't want them motherfuckers in my house.
we are not happy when we can't get them back either.
Yeah,
right?
They going in the garbage.
Yeah, so why do
sure.
y'all do that?
Because
You don't
what the
live
hell am I
here.
supposed to do with them?
What do you
I'ma
mean?
wait
Like if you're my
until you
man,
come back.
No, get this out of here.
That is
You don't live here.
ridiculous.
You don't even have a drawer yet.
Oh no, you talking about okay? So now, to
Yeah,
your
that's
point,
what I'm saying,
This is
like, it
about
depends,
depending
yeah.
on the situation.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right, right,
yeah,
right.
All right, so let's add to the question. This is your guy. Y'all just not living together.
Oh, you playing games? Okay,
Well,
things
her
that
draws
women
would be there if they lived together.
Not say they're not living together.
That's what my point is.
and they're not
Okay,
together.
okay,
They're
okay.
single.
Yeah.
Single. Okay, so things like you'll leave definitely underwear that you wore over there.
Specifically for that night.
Yeah.
Right.
Those stay.
Those are yours.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Food, things that you like or prefer. So if you like cranberry juice or pineapple juice or something with pulp, you'll put it in there and put it in the back because that's your chaser.
And ain't nothing else in this nigga fridge on any other given
all.
day. So
And you're the only person, so you'll mark your
if that
territory
chaser
like
is
that.
gone when you get back, is it a
Oh, man,
problem?
we got a problem.
You know somebody been dipping in
They be
your
like, but it was
stash.
expired. And now you got to take, ladies,
You
take
don't drink
pictures
cranberry.
of your food. So if it goes in the garbage, you know it was expired and not
Interesting.
like somebody ate it.
Oh, that's too deep. That's interesting.
What else? You might leave hair products and like combs. This one, like years ago, I was dealing with this dude and you could tell she didn't realize that it was two of us. I knew.
We was a team.
I knew that we were, because we weren't exclusive. And we were very clear, like we're seeing other people.
So is that hate? Were y'all competing?
No,
Without knowing?
She said she accepted.
I
she
knew.
said the other one hadn't been informed.
Well, I'm saying she hated.
that she was a part of it.
Yeah, I think she was trying. I don't think that she could handle the truth.
So why leave your shit?
Because she was trying to see if it would start something.
Right.
So I come in. I was having lunch with him one day. I go into the bathroom, and it's this ball of weave right on top. It's not even in there like somebody threw it. it's in there like somebody like placed it.
Right.
And then also my soap only had like a little bit left. It was brand new, so she poured it out.
Oh, like your liquid soap, because y'all don't use bar soap.
Yeah, no,
y'all do the
bar
thing
soap.
that you can pour into the random
So
sponge
all of my products were in the downstairs bathroom, and so I guess she figured I'm gonna be down there, so let her know.
Let her know I've been here.
Yeah, so I was crying, laughing, and I showed him in the bed. I was like, "Get your girl."
Like, tell her what's up.
Yeah, like, will you please? Like, and you owe me some soap.
So what is the purpose of leaving your shit? You don't live here.
See, I'm gonna get. Well, go ahead.
You leave it because
you don't live here.
I mean, you
don't. Sometimes I think it's legitimately.
No.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. You bring an overnight bag or a weekend bag. You take whatever you came with. It leaves with you.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna just say though, real talk, right? So in my history of singledom.
Okay.
Now.
Right. History of singledom.
In my life.
I've never necessarily, like, I've had moments where, like, I wake up the next day or whatever and it'll be like, oh, okay, this is here. I've never seen it as an intentional thing, right? But you know what I found out maybe 2 years ago. No longer than that, maybe 3 years ago. What I never would have checked for is how much tissue has been used. Because women use lots of tissue to clean up every time they go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
And you can knock out half a roll
Not half
in a one night situation, one night to morning situation. And it was somebody that pointed that out to me that was like, have you had diarrhea?
Oh, that's
and I was like,
who is counting your who's counting your
But
ply?
what I'm saying is that
that
is a telltale sign for women that men are not paying attention to at all.
That it should have been the telltale sign for you that whoever pointed out has been watching you.
But this is what I'm saying.
So
what I thought was interesting about that question when you put it in the run of show was that we know women do have specific things that they're paying attention to that men are not. Men are oblivious to these things.
I was not. I did my best to bring everything with me. I had to be told it is okay to leave your things, and I was like,
but men, we don't go to your house and just leave our J's there,
you
right?
don't have that much shit. You don't have to. You're not doing your hair when you get there.
True.
You don't need a shower cap
to
get in bed. Like, you don't have the same level of.
We will have
items.
things for you all. Right,
Facts.
like we will have like, oh, here's your toothbrush.
True.
Here's your.
That's a good
We
point.
know what kind of
Is this
soap
a
you like.
disposable toothbrush?
Absolutely.
No,
It's disposable when you leave.
Right.
no, like
Because if I come back,
color next
if I come back and my same toothbrush ain't here, then
you go get a
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
You also not paying attention to the color. You know why? Because you don't give a
You
fuck.
don't care,
Okay.
you know. But when a woman likes you or wants you around, you will have your personalized thing. She will leave it out, and we do stuff like we'll take pictures with it, and people won't notice it, but it'll still be there.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like if you take it a bit,
like,
and there's
your
two
toothbrushes in the
toothbrushes
background.
right.
Right.
It's like a little subtle play.
Interesting.
We be
See,
weird.
Another thing, grown men. I'm telling you right now, you having a moment like, damn.
If the toothbrush is not there,
Yeah.
if the toothbrush is not there, it goes in the drawer because
No, man, that's a real thing.
because you got more dick coming through. What the fuck?
No, maybe because you want everybody to know it's just one toothbrush.
No, or because you got dick coming through. It's fine.
No, it doesn't have to. It's just like there's no toothbrush. There's no extra toothbrush here.
And first of all,
You just always be double D-ing like
I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense for you to not have my toothbrush there. I should be the only teeth and dick coming through. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Again, but I think what Kelsey's saying too is tooth and that's
Yeah.
you are so problematic.
I should be the only tooth.
Wait, are you upset if so do men do you all prefer to have drawers?
Nah.
Like if a woman has
Men are scared of that kind of commitment in these situations. It depends. Again, I think to your point, if you're talking about that first foray into the we gonna be doing this more than once, right? Not just the overnight situation. That's
right,
one
and like
thing.
chilling and
But
being
like
there.
this is gonna be whenever we feel comfortable, this is gonna be a thing. And there's that unspoken agreement that's the case, right?
Yeah.
in that space, I don't think men want to introduce the idea of committing to a drawer, right? Because it's like, there's this like, well, if I say I'd like a drawer, then I'm kind of saying to you, I'll be back for real, right? And so I don't think men are typically built like that. Now, when you get into a situation where this is been extended and you've been in a situation, but again, men don't travel like that. Men don't travel.
Men don't travel
because we're coming in to smash and then we're leaving. Like we're not shacking up. We're not shacking up. Not dead ass,
right? It's like I don't
unless that's your lady and you post it up.
But if I've been smashing you for a while and I feel like this is my teeth, my toothbrush, right? And you just
like how comfortable you are with this teeth.
Yeah, it's wild, right? It's wild.
Never mind.
If you just happen, if I notice that another man's been here, oh yeah, I'm pissed because now you got me fucked up.
Why?
Because this is my territory.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the whole. I mean, that's
it is. So when
I got my drawer.
When do men start marking their territory? What's that? What that look like for you?
Those are called babies. What all right.
That may be the most accurate answer to that question.
Children.
I'm just not gonna let you out of the situation. You're gonna have a whole person with my face, and that's how people gonna know. You're gonna give birth to my face.
I'm telling you right now, from the bottom of my heart,
there's gonna be nothing you can do about this.
I was here.
You're gonna walk around with something that's got my ears and my nose.
Children. Oh my God.
That is probably the most accurate answer to that question.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 10 months.
I love that.
But then it's gonna be forever. Whether you talk to me or not.
Did you say 10 months?
Everybody's gonna know.
It's
there's
9.
an incubation.
No, it's 9.
It's 9. How many babies have you given birth to?
How many babies do you have?
I mean, you only got one.
That's all I need. What
and it was 20 years ago.
That's all I need.
I bet you can't remember what
this is the Father's Day show at this point.
You know what? You goddamn right. You know what I'm saying? Happy fucking Father's Day to all my fathers out there, man.
Thanks.
Whether you single, whether you're I ain't fucking with you deadbeat dads. Married, you're really involved in your kid's life. It doesn't get talked about enough. I just literally heard 48 hours ago the first promo for anything Father's Day. Like we always have to find something to do.
There used to be a big like barbecue thing that they did on the South Side.
Right. Yeah, I used to go that with Rio,
that
right?
was always promoted.
But again, and I hate this, and we have fellas, we have to find a way to change this because Mother's Day is promoted from January until it gets here. We get 2 days, right, to figure out what we're going to do.
NBA Finals.
Wait, it's Sunday. Like Father's Day comes and like it just
comes
very
and
stealthy.
fucking goes. Right?
Well, you know,
and I don't like it as a father who is involved and always there.
But you don't like commercial holidays.
No, I want to be celebrated when
I would be celebrated.
Where the finger come from?
Yeah,
Right. This finger.
You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. It's bullshit, man. But we have to celebrate ourselves, unfortunately. It is what it is.
We celebrate you all. You know, I want to shout out all of the men that have lost their children.
Facts.
Because there are parents that are grieving. They're spending their first Father's Day without their child. So sending you all love. The men that are living their first Father's Day without their father. And that's significant too, you know. This will be number over 10 without my dad. And I think every year I'm starting to learn a little bit more about how to appropriately celebrate fatherhood, what it means, how do you acknowledge it, even in your life, you know, of the men and the adult men that you have that may not be your father, like your uncles and your older cousins, because it's important. Like it is, ladies, we got to celebrate our men.
I think this looks different in communities too, right? Like, you know, the Black experience, as we all know, has so many caveats, right? Like there's an asterisk to every conversation when you think about like how were Black adults treated, and particularly parenthood. I think what I do find interesting though is that in the Black male fatherhood community, you have Black fathers that have tried and were not given opportunities to be involved.
Right.
You also have Black fathers that were not accepting of Black children who didn't follow the vision of life that they saw, like particularly thinking about the LGBTQ plus community, right? So like, I think that there's a lot of things in the Black father community that, I don't know, I want to say that they've been affected from outside
I would agree.
areas, right? Now the celebration part though, you got to be real. As much as Mother's Day is celebrated, it's not the fathers doing the big plan. It's their children. Mothers' children are the ones that are making the big plans. The father is sitting at the house like, okay, the kids want to give you a big party. True. The kids want to take you to woo, 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 woo.
And the father's fucking paying for it. I'm fucking paying for it.
But it ain't your idea. So like this concept that like somehow people supposed to flip the script and be like, celebrate me, celebrate me.
No, I'm saying keep that same energy. Like the same energy that mothers get.
But it ain't the same energy.
So do you think mothers could do a better job at helping their children celebrate their fathers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
but that comes
in unison.
But that still comes with all these other intersectional like caveats. I don't think that it's as blanket as we don't celebrate Black fathers. I think what I also love about your point is this idea that like, you know, one year I was throwing a party on Mother's Day and I didn't realize it was Mother's Day, right? I had picked the date before I had checked the calendar type of thing.
Because you haven't made a mother yet.
That was part of it for sure. I had nobody other than my own celebrate. Right? That definitely factored into me overlooking it. But when I realized that it was like, oh, it's a little bit too late. We're a little behind the 8 ball. I can't not do the event. So how do I make this make sense without looking, disrespectful? Right. Yeah. And so we turned it into the rich auntie party. But what I recognized in that moment is that I have an aunt who doesn't have children but who was 100% a second mother my entire
mother
life.
Figure.
And again, when we talk about these elements of the Black community, there are a lot of Black non-mothers of biological children who played the role of a Black father when that Black father wasn't there for whatever reason, right? So your mother is not cool with your pops, but her older sister got your back. And so she does things that a father might have when your mother cannot.
I don't agree with that.
So I would change the. I don't want to strip father.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
I don't want to strip fathers from the unique energy of being masculine energy of being present in a child's life. But I will say, I felt the same way of watching a grandparent become the co-parent. Right. So
co-parent. That's the word I should use.
That they are the second.
Other, which would normally have been the father.
Only because there's usually two. That now there are two adults, and now the grandparent steps in because that father is not available. But it happens 100%. It happens on both sides. I'll say this: I never was happy with people being like, "Oh, you're the mother and the father." No, I'm not. They got a dad.
Thank you.
Thank you. I happen to I do my job as a mom, and he does his best, in his fathering. But I never accepted a happy Father's Day because I'm not a man. And right. I've always felt like, oh, that's for the guys. I do appreciate though, when people recognize that when they were little and he was not around to celebrate, that was hard, right? Like everybody's celebrating their dads and he's not here and they're making stuff at school. And so I had to step into that space to be a parent to celebrate on that day, like, and talk to them about their dad. But they knew, like, my mom is doing all of this. And so there would be times that they'd be like, oh, it's all about you.
I'm also add this caveat to this too, though. Is like,
if you use caveat one more time.
I can't spell it if it makes you feel bad.
No, I'm tired.
I know you can, but I think it's EAT,
he still
but
ain't
I think it's
spelled
IAT actually.
Anyway. Yeah.
He still ain't spelled slew. Yeah, he's struggling with this EUGH. But during Mother's Day, I had this kind of interesting experience, and it I guess a light bulb popped up. I was at a jazz show, and an older Black woman who is, involved in one of the Chicago TV series, PD or Law or one of them, I forget which one. But we were having a conversation. It was Mother's Day. And I said, I was about to leave. And I said, hey, happy Mother's Day. And she kind of froze in this awkward moment and was kind of like, well, no, maybe to some. And what dawned on me in that moment is that never happens to Black men. Rarely do people mistake a Black man, an older Black man, for, outside of the fact that nobody says happy Father's Day, period. But they definitely don't look at it about, oh, happy Father's Day, assuming you're a father, even if you are. But
you gotta have your kids with you.
Right, exactly. You gotta be around young people for people to even perceive you as a black man who could have had children in a way. Right. Whereas black women get that at every grocery store that weekend. And when you ask women who are not mothers, it's annoying to them. It's not, they understand, like you said, they understand the what you're communicating. Like you're trying to communicate a respectful value for
it's a day, but we don't know how to be discerning and offering that. You know, or usually what I'll say is like, enjoy your Father's Day because it is Father's Day. Like you have a father, you're here. Right? Like whether they're in your life or past or whatever. So I try not to call somebody a father, but wish them a happy Father's Day.
We should do a racial study. We should actually survey white fathers and black fathers and see if the experience is similar. Because I love that. That would be really interesting to find out if black fathers feel less celebrated than white fathers or if it's the same.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same.
I'm kind of feeling like this is a racial equality space.
This may be the one time that race doesn't play a role. Right?
I feel like what's the worst gift that you've gotten?
It's not about gifts. Sometimes you don't get shit.
Oh wait,
sometimes most of the time.
Okay, I won't say what is a bad gift to give a dad on Father's Day? Because we did this for Mother's Day.
A bad gift?
What do you think a bad gift is?
I mean,
I think a bad gift is trying to monopolize my day.
I was gonna say the time. It's a time thing,
right? Yeah. Since we're not celebrating this, not made to be this big, triumphant, glorious day, we take it upon ourselves to say, all right, this is what I'm doing, and that's it, right? I don't care about anything else. This is my day. I don't care if I get a card. I don't care if you guys don't cook for me, whatever. And the whole time we're really crying on the inside because it's like, how the fuck don't you recognize my greatness?
But see, okay, let's be real now. Right. Yeah. I was gonna say what just happened is you show both sides of the coin. First side is
for sure.
First side is leave me alone. That's what I want for Father's Day.
Yes.
Leave me alone. Don't ask me for nothing. Let me do what I want. And then the second side of, why y'all ain't doing something for me?
and this is the man's struggle in a fucking in June for mental health. This is a mental health issue that is not being talked about.
How would you feel celebrated? Because there's the experience that somebody's celebrating you, and then it's this isn't enough, right? So what is your ideal Father's Day? Like you are filled with love and you're feeling it. Like, what does that look like for you?
As a man, you get 2 days. You get your
asking you.
I'm telling you, you get 2 days. You get your birthday and you get
No, she's asking.
You get Christmas.
You wake up on Sunday. You wake up. Ideally, what is it? What's the playbook?
I would like to, let me be clear. Let me get it in. You know what I'm saying?
In the morning, you want first thing, wake up.
First thing. Let me show you how I made you a mother.
For sure. Right? And
how this father thing started.
And let me after there's some breakfast or something made, let me go outside. Let me come back. I need to get it in again. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, see, how you get time for all that?
You make time when you're getting it in.
Here we go.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Because it's so dirty.
I'm about to so dirty. Go ahead, finish.
I don't know.
Finish this unrealistic.
Yeah, super unrealistic.
Sex 2 times a day.
Yeah. For the morning, the afternoon. And don't let the kids come in the room at all.
At all, right?
This is so contradictory that you started this off.
It's trash as fuck, but at the end of the day, fathers really want to just feel appreciated though. That is what
makes you feel appreciated.
No, I'm about to flip the script. What is the best gift you think you've given your father on Father's Day?
Oh,
don't know.
Nah, man, we just sent him. Oh shit, he might see this. I can't tell him what we sent him. We sent him dope gifts, bro. Like
this year. No, you feel like this year was the best you've shown up for your dad and Father's Day?
No, man. We've done the bottles. We've done.
What is your dad like? Like, what do you think your dad?
All right, so here's the thing, right? It's hard to figure out what your dad wants when they've had everything that they've wanted, right? So they've accomplished everything they wanted to accomplish, and when he wants something, he goes and gets it, right?
Okay.
I think it's undervalued how much it means to a father when he gets something as simple as "You the best dad" mug from his sons, or if he wants to write a book, you send him a journal. You know what I'm saying, with his name on it. You know what I'm saying?
Personalized,
Yes.
like you know him.
Yes.
So personalization.
Because
I
like
was gonna say, if you get me a dad mug, that basically is akin to you not giving a damn about Father's Day. For sure. Those are sold in Walgreens and 87th Street every single day. But what I'm saying is for real. Like, this is not the one thing I think you raised that's really important is that good dads do the shit that needs to be done, so they don't necessarily, quote unquote, need a thing, right? They don't represent as somebody who needs something. I don't need you to, because I spent my time providing this, right? So in that is this conundrum of like, what do I get this person who doesn't particularly need anything because they have enough to go and get it themselves?
So I have a question then. Like, one of the things, like, now I'm realizing a part of, like, I am in therapy and understanding.
Congrats.
Like, thank you. All the things that I'm like
the therapist too,
angry.
I knew that was on your resume somewhere. Is it only for plants? Are you a plant
Get on my last. You know, practitioners need practitioners, you know? So I'm angry about a lot about things that happen. And one of the things that I realized that I'm very resentful about is that I never got to celebrate Father's Day with and for my ex-husband because he was not a present and good father. And I feel like I love celebrating. I love showing love. But this person, I've never been able to do that.
Interesting.
And I thought about, like, when I became a mother, I was super excited. My first Mother's Day was trash. And he kind of set the tone for like
what to expect.
What to expect from him. But I still wanted to, but he proved to not be somebody to celebrate.
Wait, so are you saying like now you want to do that?
No, not for him. But here's my question. When you're okay, what do you all think? You're women who are dating dads. What do? We do not have children.
That's a good question.
We do not have children with this man.
That's a really good question.
Right?
It's expected what you do for the woman that has kids.
Right. We don't have children together. Women may not even have a close relationship with the children, whether they're older or they're not in the same state. Then what is your recommendation for women who are dating dads?
That's a really good question.
How deep into dating are we talking? Because women sometimes use dating as fucking.
Well, but this sounds like more of a serious
committed relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Not living together, right?
Yeah, but still like very much so invested in each other.
I think you show him appreciation by simply telling him, "You're a great dad. Here's a card. Here's some kicks. Here's some puss. Here's some mouth."
I hate that word.
Yeah.
Some cooch.
A lot of words that come out of a mom's mouth.
You know what I mean? Here's some sex.
Can we put like a dolphin
you just
noise
said the same
over
thing
it?
in 3 different vocabulary.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm trying to find one that you like.
I'm like your mouth right now.
Sorry.
Dirty
do you
mouth
know
right
those are the same thing?
No, I mean, okay, so.
But it's not weird that women want to
some
celebrate the dads that they're dating.
No, it's not weird. I think it's weird
that they want to or don't want to.
Want to.
No. I think it's weird if you do not at least recognize the fact that he is a good father. Right? So whatever that looks like, it feels like for you.
What if she? Okay, and this is throwing a curveball.
I like scenarios. Here we go.
What if this is though? You love this guy for you all's relationship, but you actually are not a big fan of his relationship with his kids.
Oh.
Because that's a real thing too.
It is.
Just because you are invested in this person and like you had nothing to do with the kids and the relationship before, but you also are not a fan of how this person expresses their relationship with their children. Like that's a different kind of space, right? So, my perspective on that would be this as a non-father.
You just got all of that.
I got 2 friends that swear to God that there are children from my high school ages with girls that I went to high school with that are mine. They are definitely not my children. I'll take all the DNA tests possible because it's physically impossible to telepathically create children. I promise you.
He's dry.
That would be hilarious. That would be a great April Fool's
Jackson
joke.
by a sperm?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Sky.
Boxing.
I don't don't get it.
Yeah,
It's over.
305.
Over. Yeah, 305. 305.
Three
Sure.
levels. But no, and so I'm saying is the because this is tough. That same woman may have a relationship with a father of her children that she does not feel that he values things, and she sees similar traits and things like that, right?
Could you date a woman who was really let's say the father's doing everything that he can do, that she will allow him to do, and she's not very kind to him? Could you date a woman that doesn't?
I've dated them all. Yeah, I've dated all.
And you say like so how she treats the man that she has children with doesn't offend you or bother you, or clearly it doesn't deter you.
I'm a person, Mr. Transparency, as he laid out. If asked, right, I try not to involve myself in relationships that I did not have access to. Now, this is a relationship that is present in our relationship. I have access to that. We need to have these discussions, right? Especially because in that scenario, I'm going to be around your children, right?
Right.
And just to be clear, I'm a really serious advocate for the fact that fathers' rights are not respected.
I completely agree.
In the way that they should be on a lot of different levels. But with that said, if it's a situation where I know I have access to that, I am going to make it very clear that I intend to establish the relationship with him outside of you. Meaning, I want to know what this person thinks, not through your translation.
Oh.
Especially, again, if we're talking about fatherhood and we're talking about your child being in my environment while you are not there, right? And I'm not saying I'm necessarily trying to do that so that we can be kumbaya. I'm not saying that I'm trying to invalidate what the difficult experience. Like I'm certainly here to support
the woman I'm with. But it's translated through,
but I don't want that filter. I gotta have my own opportunity.
That's fair.
To engage with that. But that can get that. I guess what I'm saying is that I do feel like in the Black community, and celebrate the Black community in this way. I think
those finger claps.
I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. It's the language. I wasn't gonna say that. We do this in school. We don't want kids to make noise. I'm untraining myself. This is one weekend.
I need McKinney here. I need McKinney here, man.
Yeah. This is Mr. Adamo. Doing these things. You're gonna see random hand signals.
Finger taps.
It's really weird. Sorry, that's very unnatural. Listen,
I'm sorry.
Anyway, but no, I do think that. See, made me forget my thing.
All right, cool. Let's
no.
Oh, you got it.
The point is that I do think that we need to talk about at some point, not now. We need to talk about the fact that the Black community overall is getting really good at this blended family situation. This has been something that has plagued the Black community for generations. But what you will see now amongst younger Black families and older Black families, even this guy dresses in pajamas with people, are like, real shit, jokes aside, that is not something that happened previous to the last 10 years in our community. Yeah. And so we got to at some point talk about the fact that blended families are very... They're
the norm now. And many of them are really healthy. I'll say this,
you want to make it healthy for the children.
Which if you can. Also, if you can.
Exactly.
I realize I'm not an attractive partner if a man can see me be abusive to another man.
And constantly have to deal with that beef.
Yeah, but I also needed somebody to help me understand how not to beef. Mm-hmm. Right? So whether it's Amon helping me learn how to be cool, like when you don't have men in your life, whether it's your romantic partner or cousins or whatever, helping you learn how to communicate with somebody that you don't rock with, that energy can go to other men unknowingly. So I will say, I'm quite sure my ex is like, whoever is saving me, thank you. But he should thank him because I've definitely been talked off ledges, and it's been healthy for me, healthy for the kids, but it had to come from an outside source and somebody that's not really invested in him, but wanting to see me do better. So shout out to all of the women that listen to the men in their lives, all of the blended families, all of the fathers in all of the ways, all of the new fathers. Amen. Take care of yourselves. Take your paternity leave, because you didn't have paternity leave when 20 fathers didn't get anything. They didn't exist.
We get nothing.
Men, take your paternity leave with your woman, whether you're together or not. Take that time with your child. Spend time in the hospital. Execute your rights. Know your rights.
Yeah, know your contract, right? If you have a career, like you have what they call bonding time. And you can get 2 weeks of bonding time just with your child. Yeah.
And shave your chest hair, man, or put a t-shirt on it.
That's weird.
Random as hell.
Well, when you had a baby, you were like, get the...
It's about healthily raising children with values and no chest hair.
All right.
It's random.
You know what?
Maybe that's like a personal thing.
That's like, mom, be a good mom. Listen till you get shave your legs.
No, because you be scratching the baby face.
Oh, wow.
He'll be all
turned
right.
that
She'll
into
be
something
all right.
about the baby.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Wow.
I wanna ask y'all a
terrible.
question, man. One of the greatest fathers theatrically would have been, in my opinion,
I can't wait to hear who this is.
Denzel.
What?
Wait, say that word again, though.
What I
Yes.
thought was coming.
The who?
Theatrically.
Is that a word?
In what role?
So he played a role. It was 1920s, 1930s. And he told his son,
What was the movie?
hold on, let me get to it. I'm not here to love you. I'm here to take care of you. I don't care if you like me.
Fences.
Fences.
I hated that.
I saw that on Broadway. I saw him do that live.
Love that movie. And that's a real thing in that
Well,
time
it's a play
period.
first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had a son.
August Wilson. Yeah. The whole play is.
But I thought he cheated on his wife and had the daughter.
It's complicated.
Yeah. But
I didn't make it to that part because
So-
it was the way it was shot.
So his son always felt like, you didn't love me and, you treat me this way. And he went off on him like, bro, you got a house to come home to. You have a room. You have clothes. I feed you, right? I do all the things that I'm supposed to do. No one says I'm supposed to love you. And the son
that's
felt
painful.
like,
I was gonna say, here's why I don't agree with you.
No, but hold on. And in that moment, right? The reason why I love that is because he never said that he didn't love his son. He was just telling him what I am supposed to do.
Not what kids hear.
Right? For sure. Right? So I bring up Denzel. I would love to know what are y'all top Denzel movies?
What? How you gonna take? You get to introduce who was the greatest father theatrically, and then we just talk about his
gonna
movie.
answer the hell out of this
Like we don't even get to share our own version. There's so many other fathers that can be represented.
Go ahead.
Particular center.
That's cool.
No. I think Mila can go first, but before she does, I have to say. That's how I've learned this new trick. You like that?
I'm gonna open the door, walk through it, and hold it from behind.
Exactly. Like you stay back there. I'm still holding the door for you technically. I'm just not moving out the way yet.
Oh my god! Hilarious.
It's called holding space. These new terms. No, for real. The only issue I think with your analysis on there, I agree with you that was a moment.
Yes.
That I think is significant. But August Wilson is he's not one of my favorite playwright. And one thing in that particular piece is that he's identifying the struggle that brother went through. He didn't feel like he had the capacity, time. The same way we're talking about nobody celebrates fathers now, definitely nobody was celebrating Black fathers then, right? Like this was a very difficult time. The emotional intelligence that we talk about in 2024 was non-existent. So I think that part of that whole play is designed to highlight that struggle for Black men to say I love you to their sons, right? And that, yes, I must love you because you live here and you're able to survive and do things that you like to do. But that was a lot of what he was trying to raise in that play. So
I couldn't imagine being a parent. I was always impressed. Grandmother born in 1913.
Man.
She had
13 kids.
Yeah, she had 7. I'm like, man, they were, hanging Black folks and men disappearing and having to fall in love and not know if he left or if he was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
That blows my mind. And I can't imagine having a son knowing that he's going to be a father and a family relying upon him, but he could just like up and disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly we talk about the struggles and the realities of being a Black mother and a Black woman, but the idea that you all are disposable. Right.
Yeah. And that's still, that idea is still present.
Yeah, still, and also,
even if it's just going to jail, it's like,
and it's like, what
broke the law?
What's the value of a Black man or a Black father when it's like, oh, protection? And I had to think like, how protection was stripped away from Black men to protect women and children, and they were demeaned intentionally and that taken away. And so how do you allow that to return?
Protecting your family could lead to you not being there anymore for your
family. Right. And every generation, it seemed like the father being present caused more harm than good. But in actuality, it gave us an option as a Black family. Like, are we going to win together in this way and struggle and the struggle be not getting government assistance and subsidies, living together as a family unit? Or are we going to try and get a leg up and separate? And I think you had families that did both. And it worked for some and not so well for others. And I think now as I get older and as I teach my son, I'm like, keep the family together at all costs. Right. Like whatever you have to do to be present and to protect, learn how to do that, because it's benefited us not having fathers around.
I would just like y'all to answer the question. I
was going to bring it back to your question.
Yeah, I would love to know what y'all top 10 Denzel movies are.
But that's a lot of movies. Not just fuck Denzel's movies.
He wants his run of show.
What are the highlighted Black fathers in film? Right? You have Uncle Phil, right? Celebrated for his role, and he was not Will's father. Interestingly enough, when you really think back on Fresh Prince, Will is the star. There's only one or two episodes that really key in on Uncle Phil's fatherhood for Carlton. A lot of Fresh Prince is based on his fatherhood for the child that is not his own. That's one, right?
I love that.
You got the cat from Family Matters.
Carl Weathers.
Fatherhood to who? Steve Urkel. Not his biological
His
son.
Parents were absentee parents.
Steve Urkel's?
Yeah,
but my point is, what I'm saying is that
I said Carl Withers, not Withers.
No, it's not.
It's Carl Withers. I think you're right.
No, I think Carl
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. Withers is
Bill Withers is different.
No.
What is this? Stop doing that.
From the Predator.
From the Predator. Do that over there, bro. I don't know what that is.
From the Predator.
Until you figure it out, I want you to
From Rocky. From Rocky.
Eric Glizzy.
Yeah, that's not all good.
Eric Glizzy is OC.
Don't do that to people, man. You don't just randomly.
Go ahead.
You don't just randomly Eric Glizzy people.
Give me another dope Black father in television.
But what I'm pointing out, right?
Father.
Even Bill Cosby, he may be one who is celebrated for his fatherhood to Theo, but there was a cockroach and there was all these other things. I think that the reason I like that question is that it actually kind of solidifies the same conversation, that even in popular media, the Black father is somebody who, or the Black boy is somebody who was fathered by somebody else's father and not their own. Right? Even in the positive example.
Wayne's brothers probably had the most present dad.
True.
Where he owned the restaurant and they had a business on the outside.
And even though he was a psychopath or a degenerate, he wasn't a psychopath, but he was a degenerate. Right. But he was super present. And there were moments in the Wayans brothers, as slapstick comedy as it was, that he was a present, like even in the movie he did with Friday. Right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ice Cube was about to go get into this real situation. It was Boys in the Hood, right? And I said Friday. No, it was Friday.
Right, I'm like, wait a minute. You just did a Questlove blend.
All the Black fathers.
You're moving the goalposts. No.
I don't want to talk about Denzel's top 10 movies. That's a ridiculous question.
No, it's actually not.
It's ridiculous.
All I want to say is I'm hungry.
Do you even have a top 10?
No. I mean, no. That's why it's a ridiculous question.
It's not.
He didn't read the runner show. Like he's doing what his students did. His students did all.
That was not in the. Pull it up. Paul.
There it is, right there. There it is, right there.
That's a Denzel movie. That's
is that
not
Denzel?
The run of show. It don't even look like Denzel.
There it is, right there.
Look like somebody.
How many movies has he been in?
What does that say?
10 best. Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
I didn't talk about that.
I didn't get that far.
I skipped that one. I'd rather talk about Lil Durk, best 10, whatever he does, drug addiction rehab.
I mean, you know what? Shout out to Lil Durk, man, for getting up his drug addiction. And he's in rehab.
Yeah. What was he addicted to? Did he state that?
Shit, I don't
Xanax,
know,
Percocets?
Whatever these young boys be addicted to, you know what I mean? And him being as popular, famous, and rich as he is.
And he went to rehab?
Yeah. So he did that. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? Now he wants to bring a rehab center here. Right?
I think that's a great idea. Like the West Side is West Side specifically epicenter for fentanyl at the moment. Like they just received, not just, but last year, Governor Pritzker, $1 million. And that was one of the issues. Like it was a whole bunch of dispensaries trying to come in to the area and completely tone deaf, right? Like it's people literally ODing in the street and you come in talking about.
I'm sorry. Addicted to codeine and Xanax.
I am so happy.
That was the pill popping age.
Codeine, I am deathly allergic to, that I found out. And I can't imagine like being in college and somebody like passing me a drink or giving me something, because I was pretty wild.
What college did you go to?
I went to FAM.
I didn't get codeine in college.
Well, no. I'm saying like it wasn't.
Like, no, it wasn't part of the weed.
Clearly, you all are listening. I said I'm glad that wasn't a part of. Like I can't imagine. I see what you're saying. I can't imagine in college like not normal. Yeah, like being normalized. But I'll say this: like I definitely struggle with drugs. I was a pill popper. I was ecstasy out.
You mentioned that
3-4 pills and kicking that habit.
3 or 4 is crazy.
Yeah, because you build up a tolerance, right? And especially if you've got people in your life that can either make it and sell it. It's super accessible. And I can remember feeling like, well, how do I even stop? Because you just keep trying to numb yourself, or you're around people and that's what's going on. It is not easy. You do have to change every aspect of your life. And it's not a normal thing for Black people to be able to go to rehab, right? You go to jail. Right. And I think him saying this creates this alternative. Here you got Brandon Johnson, doing treatment, not trauma. Is that what he calls it? The treat, bringing back mental health facilities, supporting people with addictions and not putting them in prison. Right. Having this sort of energy, this is where we need to be moving forward in terms of enterprise.
Well, he's the voice of the young people, right?
I was going to say, I like that.
He's the voice of the young people. And what I also like is, self-reflection, accountability. He also wants to help curb violence in Chicago, right?
Well, but let's also look at that though. Chance's first album was all about drug use.
Facts.
Right? Acid rap was 100% acid rap. Like it's him high, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Have you heard the album?
I have not.
Yeah, he talks profusely about using all kinds of drugs. Huh. But he recently, similarly, did something the same, where he did the 10-year anniversary of the album or something to that effect, but he also launched it with this whole campaign around the fact that he was like 15 or 16 and that the only reason he was able to matriculate in his career was to get control of the habits that he was developing. He said something like, had I stayed on that path, I wouldn't be alive.
Let me ask y'all this, right? Do we believe that
Durk ain't doing drugs?
No. Do we believe that he really wants to curb violence in Chicago? Because his music is spawned from violence in Chicago, not anymore, right?
Though.
That's untrue.
Yes.
No. So
he was one of the promoters of some of the worst recorded real life murders in Chicago. He was a part of an era where they were actually rapping about people they were actually
that's my question.
Involved in.
Are we believing that, okay, now I'm in rehab, now I'm feeling
that's what rehab does.
And now I want to do X, Y, and Z. Do we believe that he's going to do this? Do we have any proof that when he's been enlightened before that he's going to change his messaging?
Okay, so he has a nonprofit. I'll say this. You watch people's actions, but it's the information and the stories that don't get out that can shape how you see someone's efforts. Knowing that his organization, like instead of giving away toys for Christmas, they pay people's electric bills.
Right.
That's not sexy. But somebody is able to cook on Christmas and not worry about their, electricity and heat being cut off come 2024 because of the work that him and his organization are doing. So he's doing things. Mm-hmm. He has people around him that are also grounded and activating certain initiatives in Chicago and then, in other countries as well. Do I believe it? Yeah. I also want to believe in him. Right. That he is a reflection of all of the other Chicago talent that we lost our way. It was some dark days, and there's something that helped us understand what our mission and our goal and opportunities are and can be. We should be opening rehab centers, especially if there's insurance that's going to pay for it. Right. It's almost a no-brainer operating in the Black type of business. And so on some level, I think that he's also looking around for what solutions can I bring that also can bring jobs, that helps us turn our attention to where it is that we need to be, and is reflective of who it is that I am now. He is a husband. He's a father. He's Chicago through and through. We go on this journey as Chicagoans where you're invited to be a different version of yourself, and you can step out of that world and still have influence in that space.
And I think it's really important to also identify that he was a child.
Yeah, this is a grown man. When he became
famous. The music industry used Little Durk more than Little Durk used the music industry when he was Little Durk. Right? He's no longer Little Durk. Now he's adult Durk with children and a career. And I think he's been on this trajectory now for the last couple of years, right? Like his last album was entirely focused around mental health issues and things like that, right? So I think your point about, do we believe that he went to rehab and is now actually believing these things? I think that's the whole point of going to rehab, right? Yeah. Is to be able to go back, reflect on what was going on, how you got there, and then to come back out and do the opposite or do something more productive. I'm fully in support.
I love it. I've not heard, so besides him, it's Inglewood Barbie trying to do the shelter. Yeah. Like you're hearing people manifest what they wish to see to bring healing to our community, and not just like saying I want to do it, but actually doing the steps. And we need more of it.
Now I gotta ask on the same level though, because Durk was associated and in the same era as the Chief Keef. That those two were kind of some of the key, the other thing about Durk too is you got to also understand his brother,
Herb, Keith,
his brother was murdered at a funeral, right? He was young. The reflection that you must be thinking about related to how that happened and what things happened that transpired, that's got to be some really deep reflection, right? As you get older, right? There are definitely things, and I think I heard Abasi say this on one of the previous shows. There are definitely things you've done that you would never do again, right? That you thankfully have an opportunity to be reflective of and to have changed your way, right? So I think that part is clear. But what I'm interested in a similar way is, how do y'all feel about Chief Keef being like, he's not been allowed to perform in Illinois for a long time for a similar reason, that when he's here, there's violence and things that directly associate with that. Are we saying that him coming back now is that whoever that's died down, that beef is no longer real beef? He's too old for that shit. Is that why this is cool now? Or is there some other background reason? Because Chief Keef performing at Lyrical Lemonade, for me, I'm on the fence about whether this is problematic.
I will say this. He is the godfather of drill. Right. He kicked this off, his views, his music, completely ran every teenager in every hood for a long time.
To the point that they killed so many people that he couldn't do concerts anymore.
For a very long time. Now he's been in LA for who knows how long.
10 years.
And
that's how long.
Everyone knows how long.
2014.
So now let's say those, when did he come out? 16, 17, 18?
How old was he?
Yeah, initially.
He was in his teens. He was 15, right? 16, I think.
So let's say those kids are
maybe
now,
a little bit older.
Let's just,
they're 27.
25 to 30. Let's even go 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that can't get in a restaurant at
facts, right?
It's actually very accurate.
You would think, yes, some of that beef has subsided.
They don't look at him as King Keith no more.
Nah.
Or Chief for that.
Who took his place then?
That's a great question too.
Right? Because it's not like the music stopped.
It wasn't Vine.
Well, there aren't any once you're the first, there isn't another first, right? So you've had branches of him.
No, but he started a movement of support. Somebody
that's what I'm saying.
Picked up that energy.
But there isn't.
I can't remember if he was BD or G.
When you're the first, though, like you can only spawn other iterations of
all
who
I'm saying
you are.
is that if it's
the
not
people that he left behind, who picked up that group?
like what's the like? If,
Is
drill rap still like a really popular form of music?
I think it's on its way down. I think it's on its way down.
It's drill. It's drill fucking music. I mean, he spawned drill music as a whole. Drill music is now in New York.
Japan.
I love Japanese drill music.
Yeah, exactly.
Irish drill music.
Yeah, all of it.
I don't know what you're saying.
But my point is because now it's universal, it's no longer centralized on Chicago gang culture.
Facts.
And so what I'm saying is that why
diluted.
it's okay to say, well, Chief Keef
commercial.
can come back now because this is no longer about what made drill music so specifically unique was that they were talking about actual murders that were happening on those actual blocks. It was recorded history of the real lived experience versus our hip hop era, which is the interpretation and the discussion around the issues and the topics that are related
we
to
fake murdering people.
Well, it wasn't that we were fake, but we weren't saying who did what. We were talking about the issues surrounding these murders. We were talking about why people are on the street. Brenda's Got a Baby. Tupac is talking about the social issues around why Black girls are having teen pregnancy and shit like that, right? What I'm saying is different about drills. They
Brenda's
were saying,
got a baby,
I
but Brenda's
shot
barely
dude
got a brain,
yesterday
a damn
at 12:38. And he was on this block with these 5 people. And that's what kicked up the violence in Chicago in that specific area for that time period that he was banging.
Well, I guess we'll fucking find out when it gets here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I won't be there.
Yeah, me either. But, again, I love when young brothers find their light. And I mean, and they from Chicago, so I'm not going to shit on them. I'll just wait and see. You know what I'm saying? I'll just wait and see because at the end of the day, you've been a certain way for a long time and it's hard to turn that around and do the work. And I'm just curious to know, do you have the mental fortitude to do the same work that you did to become successful to now be mentally stable and turn your life around?
You ain't living in O Block no more.
You're not.
You ain't been living in O Block for
It's the fans also, right? Like, so I went to a Devin Adu concert and, everybody in there is over 40.
And high as shit.
Oh my goodness. And so I remember him being on the stage and he's singing, and rhyming. He stops. He's like, because his lyrics are super greasy. Mm-hmm. And he's like, man, thick white snot. I got grandkids now. And then he kept rhyming. Like he's older, right? And he's like, I think he talked a little bit about how it feels to perform these songs that, were reflective of when he was so much younger. And it feels different now performing it. And it feels different being in the space 40 something years old, rapping along with it. And so I wonder, the older it's 25, 30-year-old people that's going to be, these people got jobs and kids and, don't want smoke. They've made it out of that lifestyle. And while it might feel good to look behind you and reminisce, nobody really wants to go back to that. And we seek to avoid it.
And the question is, will your audience grow with you?
How much are the tickets to Lyrical Lemonade anyway?
Oh, they pretty expensive.
So are we expecting for people,
these are drug dealers. They got money.
And I'm saying, are they going to Lyrical Lemonade?
No, and real talk, shout out Lyrical Lemonade. That's a great organization. I don't mean to say it like that. What I mean is that because the fabric of their audience, one year Lyrical Lemonade was directly across from a festival I was doing that was a free festival for kids and families about social justice and shit. It was in the same park. And being there was watching 2 total different groups of young people converge in the same place. And they were confused because they were both festivals. So we had drill kids coming. Ours is free. So there's no metal detectors. There's none of that, right? This socially conscious festival. You got those cats coming over here thinking this is Lyrical Lemonade.
Oh, no.
And then you've got our folks on the other side of the park walking into Lyrical Lemonade like, what you mean tickets? And what's all this? What's all these metal detectors? So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I'm not shading Lyrical Lemonade as an organization. This year it's further away from the city. It's out west.
So that's what we're
southwest.
So as somebody like where you put things, how much you charge, all of those things matters to control. So part of me also wonders that you can have this artist still in Cook County, but X miles away from the city, where it's less likely that people will want to pay and travel to pay and risk being arrested by the Aurora police. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I mean.
No,
like, so what's the ticket price? What does it look like? Because you think about all of those things when you kind of control for your population demographics.
That's a very good point.
Well, this is episode, what we at, 202?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 202, man. 202.
Damn, y'all did 200 episodes?
Yeah.
Actually 201.
Nobody invited me to the 200th episode.
That's because you want me to tell them?
That's wild.
So you haven't been watching, is what you're saying.
Hell no.
Exactly.
I got shit to do, but nobody can sit there.
Yeah. We got shit to do.
The 200th episode is coming up.
No, I wasn't here either. They didn't even let me be on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, she got crazy.
What type of trash operation?
She got crazy.
She got crazy.
But you know what? I'm happy you guys are here now.
On the
So
I appreciate the snack pack on the side. I'm so hungry.
This 202, we out.
Bye, y'all.
So trash. Who was on the 200 show?